All right, Kevin, it's great having you again. Question number 6. If finances are a point of conflict in my marriage, if I ask this to someone, how can we have a healthy dialogue about it? How can savers and spenders partner well in a marriage? Because marriages usually have one of each.
Yeah, and maybe the very first thing I would do is throw out that dichotomy of savers and spenders. We all go there, we all assume that. But I think generally speaking, we all save and spend. We just do it in different ways. And so I know I have a bunch of buddies. They talk about how their spouse is just a spender because she spends all the time. But what happens is she spends throughout the weeks. They save up all their money and then make a big purchase at the end. Well, they're both spending, they're both saving. They're just doing it in different ways. And so I think to get rid of that concept and to come back to this issue of money, and it begins first and foremost with this basic question: what does money mean to you? And to recognize that based on our own personalities, based on our own backgrounds, it means different things to different people. And so money to you might mean opportunity. And so there are experiences to go out and to enjoy. For me, it might be an issue of safety. Well, if you and I are in a relationship and you see money as opportunity and I see it as security or safety, we're going to have different perspectives of how to go about spending that money and saving that money. And yet, if we never have that conversation, if we never talk about what does money mean to you, how did your parents and your family of origin handle money? How have you handled money in your life? If we never recognize those differences, we can use the exact same words and actually mean radically different things. Now here's the good news. I think whenever it comes to differences in marriage, the more differences we have, the more opportunity for tension, but also the more opportunity for growth. And so in the areas that Jenny and I disagree, we're not going to face much tension, but we also won't benefit from the diversity of opinions. And yet we're in the places that we come from different perspectives, those differences can empower us and strengthen us as long as we can navigate through them properly. And so money is probably one of the top 3 things thought about regarding whenever it comes to couples. And there's no question that money problems can add a stress to a relationship that can be very difficult. But in most cases, money is rarely the issue. Money tends to be the symptom. It's the place that people feel comfortable maybe having the argument. It's the place that boils to the surface of what's going on. But in most cases, it is not actually money that is the issue. In most places, it is the connection. And if I do not feel connected with my spouse, I'm going to be much more critical either of how she is spending money or how she is preventing me from spending money. And yet, whenever I feel connected with her, I understand her, I can communicate with her, I can see what this means to her. I'm taking action to make sure that her needs are being fulfilled. She's taking action to make sure my needs are being fulfilled. That then empowers us to use money in a positive way as a tool now to help us create the relationship and the marriage that we actually want. And yet when that connection is not present, then I don't really know her well. I don't understand her well. I'm going to assume she should see an issue the way I see an issue. And then money becomes very easy for us to have divergent opinions about, divergent actions about, and then for that to be a cause of tremendous tension. So if you're fighting about money, the first question I would ask is how good is your friendship? What is the level of your emotional connection at this moment? And chances are it's probably not very strong. Because here's the thing, if you're fighting about money and you have a really strong emotional connection, bet you can figure it out. You can take a financial piece, you can get with a money manager, you can come up with some little hacks on how to communicate in this area, and it probably won't be that difficult. It might be something you have to revisit on a regular pattern and basis, but it probably isn't going to be that major of an issue in your marriage. But if your emotional connection is not good, if your friendship has deteriorated, if there's not trust and respect, I can almost guarantee you're going to fight about money unless for some reason this is an area that you're of the same opinion, and then you're going to express it in some other way. So money is important. We have to work through it. We have to understand what it means to both of us. But then beyond that, we need to strengthen our friendship, strengthen our trust and respect, and the money issues tend to take care of themselves.
Yeah, Kevin, I love that friendship link. I remember maybe 30 years ago, my wife and I had our first conversation about budget, and I was blown away by what she valued. But when she explained it, I began to see why I should value that, and actually strengthened our marriage through finances, which could be a form of conflict, but it actually became a form of strength because I understood what she was loving, what was valuable to her. And then we could talk about how we make those kind of dreams happen for both of us.